Hey there, Andrew here, wishing you well. Short and sweet talk on two issues that arise with cultivating the microcosmic orbit and starting to work with the governing vessel and the conception vessel in the body. And often this can show up with someone, just starting to get familiar with this or first few years of internal practice. So hopefully this is helpful stuff. This is a very important aspect to get moving, to get working. So first issue is actually building the Dantian. So the Dantian is this, you can think of it as building a container, a reservoir that can actually start to hold chi. So we're both at once, we're building chi and building the container for the chi through our practice, through the lower abdomen, through the pelvic bowl, being able to stabilize energy there. So often with our minds, our focus, we can be scattered outwards or scattered into our heads, into our emotions, into our thoughts. And where we place our attention is where things start to build, right? We place our attention on fear, fear starts to build. We place our attention into the lower Dantian starts to cultivate. So the big first step is actually building a body, building a lower Dantian by, or with time, with training, placing your attention into the body, letting your mind's focus and your attentive awareness reside in the body, and in particular for lower Dantian, in the whole of the abdomen, this whole zone here. Letting that be home. And if we don't have that, the energy doesn't get to cultivate and build enough to actually open up these big vessels in the body. So that's one, building the Dantian. Two, if you're starting to build the Dantian, and many of you may have felt this, you start to build the Dantian, you're building the Dantian, and the energy simultaneously it's starting to arise and arrive into the body. And what you'll probably notice is it goes, it can rise up the body, it can rise up to the heart, it can rise up to the head, boom, out to the extremities. The stability of the energy it's a little bit erratic sometimes, and it can go out, right? Just like if someone, you get a little bit of shock or a little bit of fear, right? The energy it'll mobilize through the body, which is really good in those situations. But we're retraining that habitual reaction of when there's energy, that means mobilize the energy, right? We're learning to stabilize it. And then the pathway changes. So instead of energy just rushing up the body, it's different. We take a different path. So the governing vessel, so to say the back half of the microcosmic orbit, is a drop. From center of Dantian, we drop to the root, perineum, pelvic floor zone. We sink the chi down to the root. Then we open a back gate. It's like we're taking the pelvic floor, the perineum, the tailbone, anus, and we don't go up, we slide back. A little bit of this kind of rocking of the pelvis, energetically pulling, like if you could slide a drawer, we're pulling that drawer back, and that opens this gate to invite the energy to slowly move up the governing vessel all the way up the back to the crown, drops down to upper lip. That's where it meets the conception vessel. We want to make sure our tongue is connected to the roof of the mouth. That will link the two vessels together, and it's just a release down the front. Everything just soothes down the front. So a much different pathway than energy just rising and mobilizing up the body. We take the Dantian that we're building this chi, we're building this energy. Maybe, it's getting full from practice, from whatever. Okay, I sink it, I drop the chi. I open the drawer, I open the back gate, let the energy up the back of the body, down the front, right? So these often are the two big hurdles that people run into myself included, I face these for sure, of being able to stabilize the energy enough into the lower dantian, to build the lower dantian, to build the energy cultivation and accumulation there, then rerouting the habit of energy mobilizing through the body and dropping it, running it through the orbit, and working it like this. So on one hand, we need enough energy to actually run energy through the vessel, and we also need to find the pathway of this vessel, which is often a rewiring of energetic habit in the body. So yeah, if you're starting to work with the microcosmic orbit, doing circulation practice and energy practice, yeah, put this to use. I hope it's helpful. I know it's helpful for me, kind of working through this over the years, but yeah, wish you well.